Yo, it's the Johnny-Damon here from Midwest. We got some endurance racing at Monza. Right now you're looking at my Q2 lap. I managed to be able to get through Q2 into Q3, which was nice, considering there was, I think, 18 drivers on the grid. Um, Racing in the Alfa Romeo, this is my third ever endurance race. So I really wanted to get some good lap times down, try and get some consistent laps. But who would turn down, the speed of Temple? So as you can see, just putting down a green sector 1. Wasn't trying to push it. Not a whole lot of fancy stuff going on with these qualifying laps. This is actually my Q3 lap. RDR Hayden puts down a pole. Then A-Dub comes out with a 120.3. Takes the pole away from Hayden. Coming out of the last corner. See what I put down for a lap time here. I know it was nothing spectacular. I think I qualified like P8. 120.5. Now this is my final lap on my Q3. Open up the DRS, going down into turn 1. Get hard on the brakes, shift all the way down to 3. Hits the apex of the first corner and the second corner. As you can see, I'm positive on my delta. Another solid corner. I think I was geared too high, which kind of affected me coming out of the corner a little bit. Lost some time. I was really strong in this sector. Sector 2 was probably my strongest sectors throughout the whole race. Especially if I could hit a scary right going into sector 3. So on this lap it looks like I nailed it. Yeah, I'm not the fastest guy, but I'm here to race and have fun, do some clean racing. Coming out 10th and 1.37 up on my lap, so some improvement, not a big gap of improvement. You can see my race strat, put in a little bit more fuel. Formation lap here, Ambu Mason, right behind me, Fef Jones, right behind me as well. So these endurance races are a mix of medium TC, full TC, ABS, no TC, no ABS. It's got a lot of different groups of pace.
I'm not actually dead last.
A-Dub sitting up there in P6 with full TC and ABS. Probably got some auto gears as well. Really fast guy. Just assist. Not my favorite guys to race around just because some of them are unaware of what's going on the racetrack around them. More focused on the racing line. Now I know I have the racing line on, however I don't really follow it. I more or less use it for my braking points to understand when to brake, when to get off the brake. But starting in F123, I am looking at moving into no assist completely, shutting off medium TC, turning off the line. Well, actually, I already have medium TC off. I race no TC, no ABS right now, but I just want to turn off the line, get some clean racing. I've only been on no TC, no ABS for 4 months, so this is definitely a true test to my actual pace. overall over the
So,
course of
no,
a
I want to shout out
53
real
lap
quick to
race.
Luke.
Starting
I've been
midfield, it
watching
was
my
alright.
stream for the past
Wasn't
3 or 4
too impressed with my
races now.
quality. I think I could have gotten a little
So, you
bit
know what?
faster.
So, shout out to
360.
Luke.
See if I can hit my gate right here. Yeah, got it right on the purple. Could have gone a little bit more forward,
Yeah,
but I'd rather be safe than
I'm
sorry.
aggressive, bro. I'm
I
right
got
directed
red.
centered.
So as everybody comes to the line,
Brittany?
we get the lights 2, 3, 4, 5, and the lights are out and away we go. Heading down to turn 1. As you can see, some of the medium TC guys just blow right by me on the start.
Oh, there we go. My Jacko's
Not
already
much
done.
I can do, so I just jump to the outside, cover that line. I got hit right in the back by MMR Gaba guy. Ford and I both go off, so I'm just kind of following him through. As you can see, he takes out all the signs for me, so I didn't really have to worry too much about that. Just kind of followed him through, didn't want to go fast through him.
Damon, you gotta get
We
up
were
here,
already
bro.
briefed prior to the race. You can overtake,
Fucking
or
hell,
you
how is that
can
an
use the
illegal
runoff if
overtake?
needed, but you're not allowed to just plow through it.
Oh my god, I ain't done 100% racing in fucking ages.
Got two guys off to the left there. So now I'm right behind Ford. Ford and I had some great battles throughout the whole race.
Yo, for real.
There was a point where I overtook him, and then he overtook me back, and at that point I just
I
wanted
am
to
at
follow
bad
him
spots though.
in the DRS,
Yeah, I'm
regenerate the
chasing you guys,
battery,
bro.
Holy shit, good
and then
stuff, P.
attack from there. Tires are up to temperature, get down into a scurry. I took a little weird line going in there. I
Yeah,
should have
fuck,
stayed
this car is
outside.
so heavy.
I don't know what I was
I
really
forgot how
doing,
bad it was.
but I think I'm more or less just
Fucking hell, I have to be
not
outside.
trying to run into
Gets
Ford.
the move done into Parabolica.
Hard on the brakes, coming out of the last corner, coming to complete lap 1. Mebe, as you can see, is already taken off in the lead.
What the fuck? I'm losing so much time to Ava, bro. It's
So we're
crazy.
on lap 2 here.
Whoa,
Gaba guy just
dude.
like cuts
Did you
right
say
into the
whoa?
braking point,
Don't
which
fucking
is
be like that.
extremely hard to figure out. You leave that outside
Sorry,
line
I'm
open. I'm
sorry.
going to drive in there
Apologize.
harder than
Cross the
normal,
track.
but he was able to cover the line. I was able to slow down enough to the point where I didn't get into the back of him. Guys are a little slow going through some of these corners, but I knew it was a long race, 53 laps. Didn't want to go out there and overdo it right off the back. Next thing you know, I'd be wrecking myself on the first few laps of a 53 lap race, and I didn't want to do that. So I got Gaba guy heading down into a scurry. Just went right around the outside, missed my braking point, let him get back in front. Settle myself down and go for the attack again.
Yeah.
DRL Racer S had a great run coming through Scary. I think I just had more top speed than him. Got right to the inside of Gaba guy. Coming out of the last corner. Now I know I just need to go after Fireball here.
Hey, what up, Jake?
I tried to dummy him down to the inside, but he just
Okay, so
completely
you
missed his
intentionally
braking
take the
point. Got a little
fucking...
loose, locked up the rears going into the corner. Was able to keep it going straight. Now I'm chasing down P. Gonzalez. Spent a couple laps getting to him.
I'll give it to you after
He's a
you
great
finish.
racer, clean, always loves to race you clean.
I'm on Mbappe's ass.
Get hard on the brakes going into turn 1. Hit both apex solid.
No.
I know I slowed you down. That was my fault.
Nope,
I used a lot of battery early on in this race, however, I was able to regenerate it pretty well. Everybody's locking up going into some of these chicanes. Got a pretty decent run coming out of it. Now, I just want to close the gap here. Keep them close. I know DRS is right here. Open up the DRS.
I'm gonna go outside.
Hit the button a little bit. Gonna go through the inside of P. Gonzalez
Thank you.
Mediums are starting to go
into
through a little bit of
Ascari.
draining phase, I think.
Hit it pretty solid on the inside line. Much better than I did on the first lap.
I'm gonna keep DRS on you so I
Yep.
can keep up with Joe.
And next on my list is getting back up to Ford. Once these guys were able to create a gap, everybody got settled in. My pace started to show. I was able to close onto Ford within a few laps. Actually, some people bots. Later on in the video, you'll see some of the battles
Oh my
between
god, dude.
Ford and
Oh
I.
my god.
You can get up to the back of Sharia Coleslaw.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I am.
And we got a safety car. On lap 19, we have a safety car.
I am so wow.
So at this point in the race, I'm deciding what do I want to do. Do I want to stay out on the mediums, try and make them last longer, or do I want to pit?
Dude, I am so sorry.
It's all
Oh
good, bro.
wow. No, that's completely on me, dude. That's not good. It's not.
Yeah, I know it's not very
You
fun
guys lost
watching
the race
a
on that.
safety car lap here. I just wanted to make sure I
Usually
got you
happens.
guys seeing my race strat throughout. So lap 19 out of 53, 19 solid laps of racing. They able to make up some ground, got all the way back up to P4. I was pretty happy with that.
I haven't done anything like that fucking stupid in a long time, dude. That was reckless, man.
So now I made the decision.
Reported
We're gonna
and
bots.
that
We're
was
gonna bots here. Put on some hards. Get off these mediums that are
No,
pretty
you're good. I'm
worn.
not gonna report it. There's no need. There's no point.
Get into pit road. No penalties. It's always a good sign when you can get in and out of pit road without a penalty.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get you a pizza tonight for fucking your race up.
Purple
You're
on the
good, bro.
turn in.
You're good. Believe me.
Alfa Romeo.
All good.
Pit crew
Fucking
goes
come
to
back,
work
man.
and back out onto the track I go.
Oh my god.
Somehow I managed to
Here's a
overtake Sharia
race for you.
Coleslaw in the pit road.
Free pizza.
I'm assuming you might have had to change front wing.
No, it's cool.
Not exactly sure.
I'm gonna engineer for these guys, for you guys now.
So I come out in P3.
Telemetry.
Safety car is going in. They're about to go green flag. Unfortunately, these guys got a much better run on me. I wasn't really paying attention, I shall say. They just got a really good jump. I'm protecting the inside. A-dubs on. Fakes the outside. Looks back to the inside. Wasn't close enough to make any move. Got right up to the back of Lanzi. Using some of that battery. Kind of keep myself close. Don't let A-dub get to the inside or the outside of me. Fake inside. Hard on the brakes. And I lock up the rears.
Dude,
Luckily for me, no damage. That would have been huge. I mean,
bro.
spinning out definitely cost me a lot of position, but it's still a long race. Not even halfway through. Lap 25 of 53.
Well, yeah.
Finally made up the ground that I lost onto P14 here.
How did Fireball get his lap back?
This is where the driving becomes tough. Got inside. Perfect entrance. Kind of squeezed him on the apex to the second. Part of the chicane. Both of us kept it straight. Catch him right up to Fef Jones Drew. Next guy on my target. He ended up spinning at some point. So lap 27 of 53. We're about halfway through this race now. Had a good run coming out of Lesmo too. Open up the DRS. Get it pretty close up to Villeneuve here in P13. Nice entrance to Ascari. Good run all the way through it. Opened up the battery. Coming down to the last corner, I get to the inside of him. And I just got doored. Around I go.
Dude.
Thankfully I kept the car going. No damage. No wing damage.
Are we
Nothing.
out here wrecking people?
So at this point I just need to chase the group back down again. Open up the DRS. Luckily I had some DRS on Fireball here.
Literally slammed into me.
I gotta work my way back up to where I was. I made a few mistakes myself as well throughout this race. So nothing was necessarily Villeneuve's fault. I just felt I should have gotten a little bit more room. Got to the inside of Fireball, going down to Ascari. Had so much more top speed than him. Great entrance to Ascari. And just like that, I pulled 3/10 out of Ascari, 4/10 now. Climbing up to a second. All in the matter of 3 corners. Nice entrance to the last corner, back on the throttle in 5th gear up to 6th gear. Across the line. And we got a safety car. So lap 29, a safety car came out. Entered pit road here. Figured why not? I got an extra set of mediums fresh. Completely missed my turn in. Don't even know what I was doing. I wasn't even paying attention at this point. I mean, could have had another position, but it's all good. So come out of the pit road in 14th place. Chasing down these guys on lap 30. We got about 23 laps to go. And this is where all the battles start to take place for me.
Oh, it wasn't in the pit lane
From
yet.
here on out,
I thought it was.
I was on a charge. I was the man on a mission.
That when it's in.
The Alfa Romeo team hooked me up with a solid car today. Hard on the brakes entering turn 1.
Just try and stay ahead of this guy. Get him out of DRS straight away.
Just slightly missed the apex on turn 2. Somebody just goes right through the first chicane again. Now this is Mahi Mahi. Hard on the brakes. Hit both apex.
He's at 100
From
right
4th gear up to 5th gear, up to 6th gear. Nice shift down to 5th. Back on the throttle.
Is Mbappe making his way through the field?
He's P8 right now.
I just got a warning. This bullshit corner cop.
Heading down to Ascari. Mahi Mahi chooses the inside line.
He's now P7.
I wasn't
The
planning on
McLarens
making any
are-
moves
looks like
there.
they're just inverted cars.
Now I use some battery. Pull up to the back of him a
David,
little bit
The
more.
guy in front of you is burning battery hard.
In the final corner.
He has 30%.
And that's lap 32 on to lap 33. Use the battery. Get down to the inside of him. Completed the pass. Moved up to P12. And you can see everybody gets all jammed up here. Got to the outside of Villeneuve. Up to P11. 2 cars in one corner. Right back on the back of Ford again. We had a solid race all race, just battling each other.
Good gap before
Gaba made some mistake. I'm going to follow forward through the inside, use some of that battery, get to the inside. Little tight on the exit, but he had plenty of room. He backed out of it, so I just kind of took the position from him up to P10. I'm finally back in the points. After all the mistakes I've made all race long, finally back in the points.
Is A-Dub burning? Keeps gaining on it. Straight.
At this point, I felt like I had a little bit more pace than Ford.
Yeah,
As you can see, I believe he is blinking that ERS there right in front of me. Knew this was the perfect opportunity. Hard on the brakes.
Yep. Right.
No DRS on this lap. DRS is enabled. Get to the inside of Ford. Hard on the brake, down to the inside. Nail both apexes. Got a good run coming out of turn 2.
That'll be nice.
Going down into turn 3. And Ford's all over my back bumper. Him and I had pulled a gap right on P10 by 5 seconds. Starting to close in on TheJohnny-Damon. Mahi Mahi is out of the session. No safety car, so Ford using that DRS and that battery gets around me on the outside. At this point I figured, why not follow him? He's got more battery than I do. Got a little bit more speed. We're closing in on the gap in front of us. So I'm just going to follow him a little bit here. Use the DRS to my advantage. Regenerate some of that battery. Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2 here. Ford goes a little wide. I open up that DRS. Just keep following him. Still less than 20% for me. Lap 37. Finally was able to regenerate some of the battery here. Get right on the back of Ford. Look to the inside. Great entrance to a scurry. By both drivers actually. Ford tend to have a little bit of a better run than I did through there. Use some more battery. Not a whole lot on that one. Just kind of used a little bit. Got to the inside. See, had a much better run coming off the corner. Get to the inside of Ford. And I got the DRS. That was the best part about that move. You know, I waited. Saw I had a better run. I had the DRS. Made the pass before the line. And that way it was just easy from there. I was able to hold my line going on the outside into turn 1. Gave me a better entrance and a better exit. Hard on the brakes. You see the Gronk off to the left there. Caught up to TheJohnny-Damon. Down to 5th. Coming out of Lesmo 2. Open up that rear wing. Down into a scurry here. Got a much better exit than TheJohnny-Damon, so I just take the spot away from him. Now I'm up to P6. Next on my list is Jacko. I'm on these mediums, so I'm making the best of it throughout the entire race.
It's gonna be on mute.
Yeah, TJ, is Mbeke and Lancey got any warnings? They're close to the penalty or?
A-Dub's gonna box.
How would I know
Open up that rear wing again, the DRS zone.
Scroll through their laps. You'll see warning.
I'm gonna try and chase down Jacko here. He always had a better run than me out of turn 2. Medium traction control definitely shows the difference between somebody who's running no TC
Yeah, Mbebe,
and then
Mbebe
somebody
has
who's running
2
medium
warnings.
TC.
Okay, so you go for a penalty.
Can definitely get on the throttle a lot
Lancey
sooner
has 2 warnings
with
as
medium
well.
TC,
Alright, cool.
but you don't get as much top speed due to the restrictions that you get from it. Jacko runs a little wide. Coming out of Lesmo 2, I know I have a great run.
Jacko's at 57%. He's on the battery right now.
I'm going to peek outside. Jacko's going to try and cover it up. Then I get down to the inside, entering the scurry.
Good move.
Jacko backs out of that battle. So I've taken over P4 in before the entrance of a scurry. on lap 39. So I've made up some serious ground from where I was on lap 23. I think I was back in like
Yeah, I'll be
14th
right
or
out. I'm almost
15th.
done. Yep. If you just want to put some on a plate in the microwave, that's fine with me.
I need Lancey to battle
Now I'm just cruising.
a bit more.
Cruising for a bruising here. Back down to
Right,
turn
I'm
1.
battling enough with him. I think Raffi's gonna start
Nail
pulling
both of the apexes. I ended up shifting down to 2, which I don't know why I did that, because I've been taking it in 3rd gear all race long. So that cost me all the ground I just made up. Dropped all the way back to 7th.
I hate being distracted.
Into Lesmo 1. I essentially just wanted to make sure I could stay within the 1 seconds on Fef Jones. Very crucial that I stay within the 1 seconds here. Overall, this has been a great race. I really enjoyed racing here. Especially since it was dry. If it was wet, it would have just been miserable. I'm not super good in the wet pace yet.
there's not so much time there.
Fef Jones Drew leaves the inside wide open, so I'm just going to take it from him. Got my car down there, got on the throttle early, made the pass right before the DRS zone, which is exactly what I've been doing all race. It's a smart move if you can definitely make the pass before the DRS zone. Now I'm right up to the back of El Majaco, back in P6. Open up that rear DRS again. Great entrance to Ascari as always. If I can get that good run, I see El Majaco run a little wide, so I'm just gonna open up the battery,
Damon, don't give him the
stay on
DRS.
the inside of him,
He doesn't. Or he
and I got the DRS
and I have
because
it in my
forward
thing.
was less than a second in front.
Yeah, I got DRS in my.
I open up that
Good
rear
luck.
wing again and just make it that much harder for El Majaco to capitalize. Shift all the way down to 3. Right on the back of forward.
Damon forward is at
Here we go for battle
45%.
number 2 of the day.
He's on the same tire as you.
Nice
Yeah,
entrance
quite
to
tricky
Ascari.
because
Not a great exit there.
Lane 2's on old hards.
We just about pulled a second over El Majaco.
I just got to keep 5/10 gap for.
See Ford's gonna stick a little inside.
It's gonna be tough. He's on fresh and mediums.
Use some of that battery to catch back up to him. And the DRS is open.
Caught him out, I'll be fucked.
Definitely get down to the inside of him.
Fucked up like turn 1 as well. I lost so much
It's a
time.
little tight here. He went a little wide himself. I just stayed as wide as possible to make sure I gave him enough room on the inside of exit number 2. On the inside of turn number 2 for the exit.
Wow. I had no control of my car.
Another nice run into Ascari. And we got a safety car. RDR Hayden spun into the middle of the track and Mebe was taken out. Mebe must have not have saw the move. Hayden was out of control of his car, obviously. He just made a
Wait to see
mistake
what the
going
leader
into
does.
Ascari.
Fucked him, son.
So at this point in time, I decided I was gonna box.
Fuck! This game
Don't know what I was doing, wasn't paying attention. I was more focused on changing my tires than anything.
If you blamed me for that, bro, like, report for it, bro. I spun out. I've got no control of the car.
So here we go. Come out of the pit in P2. Safety car is going in. Lap 53. So I had a 5-second penalty. And Lindsay just had a great run on the restart. Just managed to pull away. I had nothing for him at that point. He was on fresh soft tires. I was on scuff softs. So I knew the only thing I really had to do was just keep
Majako's got battery for
El
another attack.
Majako behind me. But at the same time, I was aware that the Gronk had a 3-second penalty. He was also 3 seconds off. So all I needed to do was just make sure he was 2 seconds behind at this point before we crossed the line to make sure I didn't lose any more positions besides just one. And as we come down to the line, I will be finishing in P3 with the 5-second penalty added on to that. So I got position 3 on the podium in my first ever endurance race. If you guys enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Like to post my updates. You'll see that all right here below. Give me a like, give me a follow.